Welcome back to the next session of Keeping It Live with Prashant Rajare. It is a beautiful evening here in India, and many of us are joining from India and different parts of the world. So it's always a pleasure to be on this show. Lots of people receive a different perspective of things they are searching in life, seeking in life, and they feel very happy to receive the answers. And in a short while, we will be joined by Dhruv, who will be ready with his next set of questions. The beauty about this is he collects the questions. I have no idea what questions are going to be answered, and it is a very spontaneous, impromptu answer which is given. Okay, and I don't claim that I have answers to everything, but yeah, you can have a different perspective to the same situation in life. So I've just received the invitation from Dhruv, and he will be joining us any moment. So if you have any questions regarding anything you're wanting to ask, you can put it in the chat box here, and you can share it with Dhruv also, and he will take up these questions. So meanwhile, Dhruv is here. Welcome, Dhruv.
Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. Hope you're doing well.
Yes, we are.
So good.
So we are start with the question.
Yes, I'm ready. As
Okay,
always.
Sure. All right, we are the first question. I see many people have different types of relationships with Guru. Some are serving him, some emulate him, some watch him from distance. What should I do, or what should I recommend?
See what you are comfortable with and what you can do. Sometimes you are comfortable being very close to him, but then the security does not allow you to go to him, isn't it? So two aspects are there: what you are comfortable doing and whether you can do it or not. And it doesn't matter, these are all external behavior. The connection is of the heart, it is not of the behavior. And Gurudev used to say, give an example, the ocean. Different people enjoy the ocean differently. Some people just take a walk along the ocean front. Then there are some people who dip their feet and enjoy. Then there are others who go for a swim. Then there are some who go for a boat ride. Then some go for a longer cruise. And then there are some who do snorkeling. And there are others who do deep sea diving. So it is the same ocean, depending on, there are some who don't look at the ocean at all also. Okay. So no matter what, your connection is there. Ocean is helping you. It is supporting you, isn't it? Whether you see it or not, whether you connect with it or not. So it's your choice how you would want to nurture and maintain your relation with your Guru. Okay. And in spite of whatever way you do it, his connection with you is there for lifetime. I remember a very beautiful thing. A couple of our teachers and volunteers, they died in a helicopter crash a few years ago. And there were some of us, we were feeling, there were 7 people in the thing, and 2 were our Art of Living devotees, and the remaining 5 were people who were helping them. So one of the teachers, he was very upset, and he was sharing with Gurudev, I cannot imagine Art of Living teachers going for Gurudev job can meet with an accident like this. So Gurudev said, who Art of Living? So he said, those 2 people, Art of Living. So that was the time Gurudev said, all the 7 people who died were Art of Living people. There were 2 who had done the Art of Living program and 5 who had not done the program. But they were all Art of Living people, and they were all mine. So his connection with you is there whether you feel it or not, or whether you want to keep it or not. That compassion and that connection he holds, and that is why he goes. He has no business to go to Iraq and strike a peace deal there, or to Colombia or anywhere else. But he feels that it is people's need that they lead a much more peaceful joyful, happier, and contented life. And because he feels these people are their own, he goes that extra distance, sometimes putting his life in danger also. But people need, so that people can experience that deep peace and joy. Okay, so that is what a guru is. Okay.
The next question is, what in a successful project?
Now your voice cracked, Dhruv. Can you repeat?
Yes, ma'am. The question: what are crucial critical inputs or items in a successful project?
Again, your voice cracked.
Yeah.
I heard.
Where the question,
I heard. Yeah, your voice is cracking, Dhruv.
okay.
Now you can repeat. Just try once more.
Now we
Yeah, it's better now.
okay. So where the question is, what are crucial or critical input slash items in a successful project?
Everything can be important, and yet everything need not be important and critical. But the most important thing is willingness to face challenges and wanting to overcome them. Usually when I ask people, how many of us want problems, hardly anyone raises their hands. And when people are asked, do you want progress in life, they all say yes. So if you go to a bank, there is a cashier there and there is a manager there, isn't it? Who has more problems, the cashier or the manager? Obviously the manager, isn't it? Who has bigger problems? The manager. And when the manager is promoted, he's going to have bigger problems and more problems. And what does that mean? It means that progress in life means the ability to handle more and bigger problems. Okay. So no matter, so if you want progress in life, you have to have that willingness to face problems and willingness to challenge yourself, challenge the situation, and come out a winner. Okay. So usually when we do all this planning, we plan and then things go out of boundaries for many of these plans. In fact, all the plans go overshoot their boundaries this way or that way, and that puts us off balance. We said we have planned this way and it is not working out according to plan and all that. Be prepared. It will go out of whatever, and it is your willingness to face that challenge, take it up as a challenge, and make it a success in spite of whatever is happening. Okay. So other inputs are there, not there. Sometimes you plan and go, sometimes you don't plan and go. But if you have that, willingness to learn, improvise, and challenge yourself to come out a winner, then I think the basic ingredient is there. So other things can all be developed and groomed.
Thank you. The next question is, I had the opportunity to be an ashramite. Due to some circumstances, I had to leave it and join the regular life. I regret. I feel I missed out on a wonderful opportunity. I keep regretting the decision. I want life to bring the opportunity to be with them again. How to reconcile this in my mind?
Yeah, you had your compulsions and you had to move out. It's okay. You're carrying a bit of the ashram back with you. Now nurture that. Gurudev says every heart can become a nurture. Every heart and every human being can become an ashram. And nurturing that ashram within you will create an ashram wherever you are. There is a very beautiful term, thing in Bhagavad Gita, Aniket. Aniket. So Aniket, Niket means what? House. Aniket is one who, is beyond a house, or one who does not have a house. There are different interpretations to that also. But wherever you go, you make your house everywhere. isn't it? You carry the ashram everywhere. So that is what is being aniket. Okay. So finding comfort in your heart hmm, is that state. When you find comfort within you, then it doesn't matter. You might be in a hut, you might be in a palace, you might be here, there. Then you don't identify with whatever is there. Life has its own compulsions. You don't get everything what you want, but in that compulsions, you have to nurture and groom that ashram which is there in your heart.